we are hearing Bhagavad Gita. We heard if someone practices Bhakti Yoga, then he will get love of Krishna, and by that he will have no thirst for celestial enjoyment or liberation. And we also heard about Britrasur, previous life, Chitraketu Maharaj. Then he was disturbed when his son died, but by the grace of Angira Rishi and Narad Goswami, he got transcendental knowledge and was worshipping Supreme Lord and got his realization. Then he came in that assembly where Shiva was sitting, and Parvati cursed him, misunderstanding what he meant. He cursed him, but he was tolerating, not retaliating, because no false ego is there. So Shiva also told about him, you see, he did not become angry, he did not become disturbed. That is possible, of course, for someone who realized Krishna, not for all. We may believe, we may know, but practically to do is something else, according to the degree of our advancement. So then Britrasur, although born as a demon, but he was pure devotee. And he expressed, I have no any other desire except your service. And even he said, I am not such a great devotee that I can expect that Supreme Lord will come to me, although I am feeling separation from him. So I cannot expect. So one prayer, O Supreme Lord, as long as I am in this world, my karma will go on as per my past activities that will like movie, it will have to go. But I have one prayer. Let me have association of your pure devotees. Then I can get devotion to you. Then we also heard about the qualities of a Shanta Bhakta, means one who at least came up to Shantarati, Shantarasa, that is above Brahma Jyoti. That is devotion, but not active. It is adoration or admiration of Supreme Lord, but no active service is there, but no other desires there. Gurudev told Krishna Nishta Trishna Tyag. Firm faith in Krishna and no any other desires for liberation or enjoyment. No. And such a devotee who is transcendentally situated, he can display such qualities. Not all. We cannot imitate. We heard Ashanta Bhakta is naturally free from malice, does not want to harm anyone. Seeing all are related to me in relation to Krishna. No one is enemy. He is friendly to them, even to those who envy him. He is always kind. And here it is explained, to those who have gone astray from the path of devotion. So real kindness or compassion means karuna, trying to persuade, inspire jivas to worship Krishna. That is real compassion. Not only giving food, cloth, medicine, this for bodily necessities, but for the soul. He is always indifferent to his home, that is to say, free from mundane attachments. like Ambarish Maharaj. Although he's the owner of whole world, but he had no attachment. He knew this is temporary, and he knew it belongs to Krishna, because he was a realized soul. And is not vain of his mundane qualities and acquisitions, means proud. Pure devotee is never proud. Uttam Hoya Vaishnav Hobenir Abhiman. Although he is the most exalted, but he has no false ego. And he considers himself very low because of contact with Supreme Lord. He is balanced in pleasure and pain. Despite strong cause for provocation, he is forbearing and forgiving. There may be cause, like Haridas Thakur. They were beating him, trying to kill him, but he was forbearing and forgiving. Prahlad Maharaj also, and Ambarish Maharaj and all, they are pure devotees. Once, one devotee came to our Gurudev, his disciple, and he asked Gurudev, sometimes I'm thinking I'm a devotee, sometimes I'm thinking I'm not, and others also they're sometimes telling I'm devotee, sometimes not like this, so you please tell me, am I devotee or not? Then Gurudev said, if you at any time become unbalanced, then you are not devotee. Of course, here it means not pure devotee, because pure devotee sees the grace of Krishna in all circumstances and is always calm and serene. But it is not only pure devotee and atheist, only these two things exist. No. There are also sadhakas of devotion who are on the way to become pure devotees. They are gradually purifying their hearts, and up to that extent, they can be forbearing, forgiving, and all this, up to that extent. One time, it is coming from Srila Sai Maharaj. There was one snake and was disturbing all villagers and killing them, everything, because her nature like that. Then Narad once came to grace her, and he told, this is not good what you are doing. You should be kind to all, not this cruelty, so I will make you my disciple and you should chant Harinam, and you will be Trinada Pisunichana, Tarora Pisahisnana, Manina Manadina, Kirtanya Sadakuri. You have to tolerate. Then that snake became devotee and was kind and tolerant, but some children, they came to know, oh, now she's a devotee and she got this instruction to tolerate everything, so now let us beat her, let us throw stones, and all these things they were doing, and she was tolerating everything because Gurudev said. Then after some time Narad came to see how she's doing, because disciple, Guru has affection. Then that snake, she was beaten and everything. Then Narad asked, how are you? Okay, I'm okay. but this is happening. Now they are misusing this. They are all beating, knowing that I will not do any harm to them. So they are all beating me, so it is little difficult. So I'm tolerating. Then Narad told, I told you not to bite. I didn't tell you not to hiss. You can hiss little. They will become afraid. Don't bite, don't kill, but you can little hiss. Then they will not disturb you. So it is also one level of practice to do like this. Not to harm, but also not to like harm yourself. Can do. So forbearing and forgiving. Once our Gurudev told we cannot imitate Prahlad. It is not, you cannot imitate. Unless you are pure devotee, then you cannot act like him. So according to our level, we have to, under the guidance of bona fide Guru, practice. Then gradually we can get all these qualities. And it is percentage also. It is not only black and white, percentage. So then snake was little hissing, so they were not beating unnecessarily like this, but also she did not harm anyone. Then further, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam Maitraka. No, this I already read. Oh, 14th verse. Yes, I read Bangla yesterday, but not the translation. No, Sanskrit, but not translation. Ashanta Bhakta is always content, always happy, never disturbed, and also with what little he has, because his material necessities also, they are fulfilled up to that normal point, not too much, not too less, and because he is devoted to Krishna, Krishna is helping him, he is providing him with all his necessities, how much he needs. So inside he is always feeling bliss of service of Krishna, and also his material necessities are automatically fulfilled. He is ever harmonized and self-controlled. He can adjust under any circumstance. Gurudev told, although Prahlad Maharaja's father was a great demon, and although his son, Virochan, Prahlad's son, he was also a demon, but Prahlad, because of being pure devotee, he would adjust himself brilliantly. Never disrespected father, never became angry on his son, trying to beat him. So always harmonized, but that is not possible, again, artificially. We have to pray to Gurudev. Our Gurudev told when I came to Mat, then I was disturbed with the behavior of some Vaishnavas. So then I thought I will leave this place. I will go home. I cannot. Then he wanted to tell to Gurudev. Then Parangurudev replied immediately, don't do anything by your own initiative, by your own mental and intellectual thinking. This is limited. Conditioned soul, they don't know what is right, what is wrong, and what is their actual necessity like this. So they may commit more, they may increase problem trying to solve the problem. So you should take absolute shelter of Supreme Lord, pray for His grace, for His guidance, then you do accordingly. Then Gurudev said, I tried. Although I don't know how much I could surrender, but at least I tried. I was praying to Gaur Nityananda because they are most merciful forms of God. I was praying to them. Then suddenly some light of transcendental knowledge descended in me by their grace, and I could see adjustment. Before I could not see. I could see what is the actual picture, what is going on, and how I have to adjust to the environment. Not try to make environment adjusted to me, but how I can adjust. So this knowledge we cannot get from our own mind and intellect. We have to surrender. Gurudev said, to pray to Supreme Lord implies also praying the grace of Gurudev, his all-merciful grace incarnate form. Then by their grace, we can see what is the situation and how we should adjust properly to this situation so that it will be for the satisfaction of Krishna, for the service, his service. So here, he is ever harmonized and self-controlled. All his senses and his mind are under his control. He is not the slave of the senses. By the grace of Krishna. When one is devoted to Krishna, then by the grace of Krishna, he is beyond Maya. Not independently, by some austerity and like this, no. Maya belongs to Krishna. Those who are averse to Krishna, they are enveloped by Maya. One who devotes himself to Krishna, then Krishna is removing that Maya, but not to anyone else. So always we are dependent on Krishna. If anyone thinks I am independent, then surely Maya will catch him. But one who knows I am eternal servant of Krishna, I will serve him. Only he is free of Maya, and he is never proud. He is a devotee of steadfast determination to achieve his end. Utsaha Nishchay Dharjat. He is enthusiastic to serve Krishna, has firm faith he will get Krishna's grace. Krishna is all merciful, and if I will act according to his desire, according to his will, devotion, then surely he will grace me. And Dharjat, he is patient, and he is I don't know how to say, determined, like Dhruva. The meaning of Dhruva is determined. This is the literal meaning of Dhruva, determined. He was determined, I will get Supreme Lord, no matter what. Decided. Even when his mother told him, you will worship Supreme Lord, he can fulfill all your desires. That time he decided, I will worship. And he went to forest and so many obstacles came, but he was determined. Even when Narad was testing him, then he said, no, I will not go back home. I will get Supreme Lord or I will die, but I will not. Then also Narad told him, while testing, it is in Bhagavatam, Narad said, why you are so disturbed? In this world, everyone is getting according to his karma, praise and abuse. And when you meet some superior person, you should be happy and serve him. When you meet some equal person, you should be friendly with him. And if you meet some inferior person, you should be compassionate to him. And everyone is getting, why you are so serious about this praise and this? Don't. Everyone is getting according to karma, so don't be disturbed. Go home and live there, then later on you will worship. Then Dhruva said, yes, this is very good what you are saying. It is very good. But I'm a Kshatriya. My nature is like that. I'm proud. So I cannot tolerate. Your instructions are good, but they are not finding their place in my heart because of my Kshatriya nature. So you kindly please give me some way to worship Krishna. Then Narad gave him. So there are different levels of practice. And realized soul can engage us according to our. Gurudev may speak many things in Harikatha. And he's speaking both things, what we have to achieve and what are the steps to go there, both. So we have to carefully hear and accept both things. With mind and intelligence placed in me, he's using all mind, intelligence for the service of Krishna. He's ever alert to attain my love. Such a devotee is there to me. One time one devotee asked Gurudev that I am doing this devotion but only for Kanaka Kamini Pratishta, for money, for sense enjoyment and for name and fame. Then Gurudev said, you are now realized soul. Are you Siddha? You are now realized soul. Am I realized soul? Gurudev said, am I realized soul? Then Gurudev said, so many samskaras there from past lives, impressions for all this. So it will take some time. You practice what you are now doing, that is not useless. Like in comparison, no, everything zero, is all sarva padmin muktam, all zero, bogus, all. No. Guru said, what you are doing now is also not useless. We have to try again and again, try. Then by sadhana we can become Siddha. But we cannot be disturbed because I'm not Siddha. Of course I'm not Siddha. If I'm not Siddha, then how I can have the qualities of being Siddha? So when I see I don't have the qualities of Siddha, then I become disturbed. It means I think I'm Siddha or that I should be Siddha, perfected. I should be, yes, I should become, but there is a process to attain that. Next, Krishna is telling, Yasmanno dvijate loko, lokanno dvijate chayaha, harshamarsha bhayo dvegair, muktoyaksa chame priyaha. Ashanta Bhakta is one who neither gives anybody cause for uneasiness, nor himself gets uneasy, who is not elated with the attainment of any desirable object, who is not jealous of other people's welfare, and who is free from wrath, means anger, fear, or other effects of mundane events acting on his mind. Such a devotee is there to me. One time I was asking Gurudev about some rasa, that was something, gopi, prem, all these things. Then Gurudev was listening, and little he replied. Then he said, "You understand about Shantarasa?" Then immediately I understood what he wants to say. Because Shantarasa means Krishna Nishta Trishna Tyag. He is fully devoted to Krishna and has no any other desires. So that I did not attain. And Gurudev was giving a hint to me. How you will understand that Gopi Prem and these things? Even Shantaras, you are not practically established in that. What Dhruva got, you now this I'm telling. Gurudev was not telling. Gurudev only was saying me, you understand about Shantaras? Then I understood. Gurudev, yes, I understand. But Gurudev made me understand that even Shantaras, we are hearing these qualities. So how I can say does not cause uneasiness for anyone, and he himself is never uneasy, and not jealous of other people's welfare, and free from anger, because there is no other desire, so there is no obstruction to the fulfillment of desire, by which then you become angry. There is no cause of anger, there is no cause of fear. We are afraid, bhayan dviti abhinaveshatasya. Fear comes when we misidentify with matter. Then I will die, or this will happen, or this. But someone who is in soul consciousness, he knows, I was never born, never I will die, and he's above this material energy, not dependent on anything. So where is any fear for him? Not possible. I may understand many things theoretically, but practically to be Shanta Bhakta is not so easy. Wrath, fear, and other effects of mundane events. He is not disturbed, acting on his mind. Such a devotee is there to me. Krishna is telling, because sadhakas are also there. That does not mean, oh yes, they are there to him and we are useless. No, in 9th chapter, Krishna said, sadhakas are also very there to me. We heard. Api chet suduracharo bhajate mamananya bhak sadureva samantavya sambhya vyavasati hisa. Kipram bhavati dharmatma shashva chantim nigachati konteya pratijani hiname bhakta pranashati. One who is worshipping me one-pointedly, not worshipping other demigods, not doing any karma, jnana, yoga. No, he's worshipping me. But now he's sadhak. So he may sometimes, due to pressure of some bad habits from before, do something wrong. Still, you should not consider him as non-sadhu. He's a sadhu because of his proper resolve, and one should not criticize. And then Krishna told to Arjuna, I will not say, because people may not believe, sometimes I'm breaking my promise, but that is of course also for the sake of his devotee, not just for a useless thing. No. Krishna broke promise to prove the word of his devotee, Bhishma. There, he took weapon. So not unnecessarily Krishna. So, but anyway, people misunderstand. So he said, Arjuna, you are dharmic, so people will believe you. You go, you declare to all worshippers of other demigods, karmis, jnanis, yogis, to everyone you declare, my devotee will not perish. So Gurudev told, here Krishna is showing how much affection he has for sadhakas. I am taking care of them. And if someone will blaspheme them, criticize them because of these outgoing drawbacks, I will be displeased. So he has affection for of course, for perfect devotees, but also for sadhakas. And in 11th canto also, when one has mundane desires, he is eligible for karma yoga. When one has no such desires but wants emancipation, he is eligible for jnana yoga. But when one awakened faith in me and he's hearing Harikatha with faith, then he is eligible for devotion. Then Krishna says that someone may awaken, already awakened faith in me. He's hearing Harikatha and he knows all these worldly sense enjoyment and all these things, that is not the ultimate goal. That will not fulfill, and also it is reactionary. It will give suffering at the end. He knows, clearly he knows, but still he's unable to give up. So then, should I stop worshipping Krishna because I am such? I am such. Then Krishna said, no, you should not stop worshipping me. You should worship me with firm faith, with enthusiasm. You should worship me. And those sense enjoyments you will accept not with adoration, not with interest, and with praising and like this, but you will condemn, oh, this is not good. Then gradually that will, by worshipping Krishna and by accepting in this way, that will be totally removed. So this is sadhana. Sadhana is a stage. So such devotee is there to Krishna because he's sadhaka proper. Krishna, out of affection, Gurudev told, our Gurudev means Param, he used to encourage us. You see, Krishna is telling, you don't give up worshipping him. In spite of all your drawbacks and all these things, don't give up. You go on worshipping, and gradually that will be removed by this. Otherwise, Krishna would say, oh, you are having some these habits and some this desire, you go, I kick you, you go away, you are useless, go away. But Krishna did not say. He said, no, you go on worshipping me. Don't become discouraged. Krishna did not reject. You are useless, go. No. Anapeksha shuchir daksha udasino gatavyataha sarvaramba parityagi yomad bhakta same priyaha. A Shanta Bhakta is one who remains unconcerned in all mundane affairs, who is inwardly and outwardly pure. Inwardly means always remembering Krishna, that is purity. Outwardly following all those sanctity rules of food and cloth and washing your mouth and hands, all this, that is Vaishnava Sadachara, behavior of a Vaishnava for the service of Krishna, not to commit any seva aparat. He's leading pure life, who is smart and active. Smart means he knows service of Krishna, that is to be done, and he is doing that, active. Who is impartial or indifferent, that is to say, views things and persons with calm and tranquil vision, whose mind is untroubled, and who is not at all attached to the fruits of his actions. Such a devotee is there to me. So this is pure devotee on transcendental platform, and we cannot imitate this. It is impossible to imitate. You can imitate, but that will not be real, and also some circumstance will come when it will be prove that you are not actually on that platform. So there is no use of trying to imitate, but we have to practice devotion to Krishna, and up to that extent, how much we purified our heart of all other desires and ignorance and false ego, all this, up to that point, all these things will naturally come. Naturally, it will be there. So we have to try again and again. And one day we can come to this. He's unconcerned, whose mind is untroubled. Yo na hrishyati, na dveshti, na shochati, na kankshati, shubha shubha parityagi, bhaktiman yah same priyaha. A Shanta Bhakta is one who does not exult in anything pleasant, nor means worldly pleasure something. He is not very like exalted, nor is depressed at anything unpleasant, who does not grieve for the loss of anything desirable, nor desires for anything which he does not possess, and who avoids good and evil, virtue and vice, that is to say, views the opposites with equal eyes. Such a devotee is there to me. This Shubha Shubha Parityagi, Shubha Shubha means in relation to worldly piety and sin, what is auspicious, what is inauspicious, that he is not concerned about that. He is not following that. His only concern is satisfaction of Krishna, serving. That is why Krishna told at the end of Gita to Arjuna, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, you give up all this, everything. Just you serve me. Also we find in Mana Shiksha by Raghunath Das Goswami, oh my mind, don't think about what is pious and what is impious. Don't think. You think of service of Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. Because they are not practicing that level. They are already practicing pure devotion to Krishna. He views the opposites with equal eyes. Such a devotee is there to me. Samakshatrau cha mitre cha tathamana pamanayo shitoshna sukha dukheshu samaksanga vivarjitaha tulyaninda stutir mauni santushtoyena kenachit aniketah stiramatir bhaktiman me priyo naraha. You see, now this one will be very difficult for a conditioned soul to have such. Ashanta Bhakta is one who looks upon friends and foes alike, who does not feel pleasure for being honored, nor displeasure for being dishonored, who is not affected by heat or cold, pleasure or pain, who abjures evil company, gives up, who is calm and tranquil in vision, who is indifferent to praise or blame, who is undemonstrative, who is satisfied with whatever comes of its own accord, who is not attached to home, who is wholly harmonized, firm and devoted, calm and collected. Such a devotee is very dear to me. undemonstrative. Let me see about here this. Undemonstrated means not demonstrating or what? Some to equal. Moni, maybe this is who is indifferent to praise and blame, and that is Tulyaninda Stutir. Moni, yes, undemonstrative, Moni. Here it is silent. So I don't know what here undemonstrative, maybe like he's not showing off anything. He's always silent, not doing any demonstration. I don't know, undemonstrative. But once I heard from Gurudev, he said when one who got darshan of Supreme Lord, he will always be silent. Means not speaking so much and all the time something, speaking and praising himself and like this. He will always be silent. We are all the time complaining and this and so many things. We are all the time speaking and this is bad, that is bad. But one who got realization, he will always be silent. Means he will be satisfied. Wholly harmonized, firm and devoted, calm and collected. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Now the last verse of this chapter. Yetu dharma mritam idam yatoktam parjupasate shraddha dhana mat parama bhakta stetiva me priyaha. Those who, with firm faith and single-minded devotion, worship with delight this nectarine truth related by me from beginning to end, are surpassingly dear to me. Atitva. Surpassingly. Here there is one note. The gradual steps to spiritual progress, as mentioned by the Lord, are to be strictly followed by the devotees. They invariably lead to Krishna Prema, the summum bonum of all spiritual practices. Gist of this chapter. The gist of this chapter is that pure devotion is ever blissful and is the means of attaining divine love, the highest end of spiritual existence. So one who attained love of God, at least in Shantaras, that is transcendental, then naturally he has all such qualities. No conditioned soul with false ego can have such qualities and cannot imitate. That is why it is said, before one accepts a guru, he must first observe him for like 1 year. One can take 1 year to observe whether he may have knowledge of Shastra and he may give nice lectures, that is okay. But another necessary quality of Guru is he must be a realized soul. He must have direct connection with Krishna. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Brahmanishta means realized. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said how devotees they will know that they may see he has knowledge, but how they will understand he is realized, because he will not be overcome by anger, greed, these things. So that is why it is said for 1 year, Sanatana Goswami said, for 1 year one can observe, because in 1 year many circumstances will come, and those circumstances will prove whether this person is really having all these qualities of being undisturbed and all this. It will be proved. So then, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, he should not be under the control of anger and greed and lust and this. He may use anger for proper purpose, but not overcome by anger, because there is no ulterior desire. So for 1 year one may. And another thing is, if some devotee may do something wrong, then again you should not abruptly judge him, because maybe it is accidental. You should wait for some time. He will again reinstate himself and will go on with more force. So also abruptly you should not reject someone. If he was good, but then he did something wrong, then you should wait, not immediately reject, to see whether it was accidental. So one thing is Siddha, perfected soul, realized soul. One thing is atheist or other practitioners like this, and one thing is sadhaka of devotion. He's trying, and also sadhana is of different levels. So according to our level, we will be engaged by bona fide guru to practice as per our capacity. Then by practicing that, gradually we can come to this platform. But if any circumstance or anything is coming and we don't know, that is very good sign, because we will then be ready to pray for the guidance of bona fide realized guru. He will respond if we are sincere for taking his guidance. He will respond and he will show us this is the defect, because he knows, Krishna knows and Guru knows. By the will of Krishna, Guru knows. He can see defect and he will point out that defect in such a way that you will not be hurt and that you will be encouraged. You will not feel discouraged. You will feel encouraged to correct that and to practice further. Some other may speak about my defects in such a way that I will be down, discouraged, because he is not speaking out of love, but out of some grudge or some unfulfilled desires or something, frustration, or for his name and fame or something, he will speak. Although that may be true, yeah, that is really my drawback, but the mood with which he's speaking, it will be totally different than if Guru, bona fide Guru, will say the same thing to me. That will not discourage me, it will encourage me. So that is why always we should pray for the guidance of bona fide Guru. He will show us what is right, what is wrong, and that will be progressive. So here there are some questions to this chapter. Who are the foremost of yogins as depicted by the Supreme Lord? Bhakti Yogi. In Shloka 2, let me see how. Yes, those who worship me with their minds intent on me, ever harmonized and attuned with supreme faith, are the best of yogins. It is my viewpoint. That is Bhakti Yogi. What is the means and ultimate end of an impersonalist? Shloka 5. The worshippers of nameless, unmanifest, abstract Brahman shall have to experience great difficulties. For abstract Brahman as the ultimate goal is attained with the greatest possible difficulty by the embodied souls. Is there any worldly bondage of single-minded devotee of the Lord who renders eternal service to him? No. 6 and 7. Yes. They who are doing this devotion are in no time rescued by me from the ocean of ceaseless rounds of births and deaths. Is not the eternal remembrance of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna the only means to attain divine love to him? Yes, only way. Yes. Undoubtedly, yes. Thou shalt attain eternal habitat with pure love for me. What means is to be resorted to before the awakening of spontaneous inclination or attachment for the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Spontaneous means that raga mark we heard when one's mind is always on Krishna, but if I'm not there, then what then one has to do? Has to do abhyas, practice, according to Vaidhi, practice, then that will give him that. And there are different levels also. We heard abhyas, practice, and also offering all actions to him, and or at least renounce the fruits of actions you offer to him. So different ways for gradual procedure, for gradual advancement, there according to one's eligibility. What are the special characteristics of Shanta Bhakta? Now we were hearing. They are very divine, very beautiful to hear all these qualities. I can only admire. I don't have any of those, but I admire those qualities. Is there any other person who is dearer to the Supreme Lord than a true devotee who has taken absolute shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord? No, no one is dearer to him. What is the foremost religion for a jiva to attain eternal nectarine bliss? That is, now we just heard this last verse. Those who with firm faith and single-minded devotion worship with delight this nectarian truth related by me from beginning to end, this Bhakti Yoga, are surpassingly dear to me. So then tomorrow we are observing Gopal Bhatta Goswami's. He is like this devotee, not only Shantaras, Madhuras. We have to hear about his glories and pray for his grace, then we can advance in our devotion.